Hello, and welcome to the first part of this new series called Things to Do Before Legion. In this series, I'm just going to be talking about several things that you may want to be doing, or may want to have done before the Legion pre-patch launches. Probably it'll be about the start of August since Legion launches on the 30th. A lot of things I'm going to be talking about in this series are stuff that's either getting removed, getting changed so they're much harder to do, or generally stuff that you may want to be doing to pass the time if you're bored with Warlords of Draenor, but still want to play WoW. So yeah, in this particular video, I'm going to be talking, diving into the WoW Pokemon scene of pet battles. Now, I've been a pet collector and later, kind of a leveler of pets ever since I first decided to farm those frogs in Zulaman back in TPC. If anyone remembers those shitty little things. You had to basically beg your raid members to give you all the hex sticks so you could, use them on frogs and until you got a Mojo pet. And then there's always that one guy that refused to give you the stick and just so happened to, spawn the Mojo and ninja it. So yeah, good times. Fucking, I still remember that. I mean, it's a bit of a shame really that this pet became proper easy to get in Cataclysm, as it holds a bit of nostalgia value for me, because I must admit, this was my first official non-vendor pet, I guess you could say. So, yeah. Anyway, pet collecting and pet battling, it's a pretty decent way to pass the time if you're kind of into that stuff. It's also a good way to get some achievement points if you're into that stuff. You might have to put some effort in to get, the harder achievement points, but yeah, it's still a good way to get some points. The more you collect, the more you can gloat as well. If people also collect pets, especially if you get a rare one, that people can covet, and then you can stand out to other pet collectors. So yeah. Also, if you didn't already know, WoW Progress even has a specific page dedicated to pets, which works out a score for your character depending on the number of pets you have, combined with their rarity and the level of those pets. So there's another aspect of competitive gameplay if you want it. If you're into achievement hunting, mount hunting, stuff like that. It's something to think about. I'm sure the hype for Pokemon Sun and Moon, coming in November is real. But hey, why just play Pokemon? You can also play WoW Pokemon as well. Am I right? Gotta catch them all and level them all in WoW as well. Yeah? No? Maybe? Okay then. Anyway, so what's changing come Legion? Well, the absolute main thing that needs to be noted is the Howl Bomb nerf. Now, if you've never pet battled before, or maybe you're only just getting into it and haven't heard of it, then this is how the basic strategy works. The basic idea is to use a combination of Geyser and Whirlpool from the Pandaren Warrior Spirit, and then switch out for a pet which can use Howl. I mean, preferably something like Chromineus, which also has a massive hitting ability such as Surge of Power. And this combo absolutely destroys almost every pet in the game, NPC. So, yeah, even those annoying as shit legendary pets in Tanaan Jungle, or the Celestial pets on the Time of Sile, absolutely destroys them. So, yeah, that's getting a nerf. What they're doing is they're actually making Guys and Whirlpools share the same move slot now, so you'll no longer be able to use them together. I mean, I can understand, I guess, why it's finally getting a nerf, as it does kind of nullify any difficulty of pet battles versus NPCs. So yeah, it's especially I'll talk about it a little bit more later, explaining the way it works and how to use it, because I'll just go into the Tanaan pet strategy, which you can use to get some currency, which I'll talk about in a minute. Because the second change, worth mentioning, is the pet charm currency. Its drop rate or reward rate, I guess you could say, is getting nerfed in Draenor areas. The pet charms, if you don't already know, they are the currency for pet rewards in Warlords of Draenor. There's a vendor in the garrison that sells a variety of rewards, from pets to toys, and the value gets increasingly more expensive. So over time, to collect them all, it does take some effort and a dedication. Now, this currency, or vendor I should say, isn't going away in Legion, and in fact it'll move to the new Dalaran on the Broken Shore, with 2 new pets for 50 and 100 charms being added, as well as a toy that'll cost 1,000 charms. So, I mean, if you haven't been farming the charms, it's a lot of fucking grinding to get them all now. If get bored easily, or you want the toys to fill out your toy box but hate battles, then unfortunately you're a bit fucked, because that's the only way to do it. I mean, my advice is to do it now, not later. The good thing is, because the currency is staying the same, you can farm the charms in preparation, which is, quite useful. Because at the moment, now is probably by far the best time to farm these charms, because they're quite easy to get at the moment. So get on the case now, because in Legion it might become a pain in the ass to do them. So I'll just talk about the charms and what's changing with them. So let's break them down real quickly. The rewards: you get 4 charms for each of the master pet trainers in Draenor, and you get another 8 for beating the garrison pet master. I mean, it's not a grand total of a lot. I think it's like 32 or something. And these are daily account bound, so you can only do them once on all your characters combined. These rewards are getting nerfed by about 50% in Legion, so maybe you'll only be able to get 16 or so a day, which is, hardly worth the effort coming back to Draenor. Which, I mean, I guess they're trying to make Legion more focused on that's where you want to be to pet battle, but yeah, there's that. The other place to get pet charms is actually from the Fell-Touched pet supplies, which are rewarded for beating each of the 15 Tanaan jungle pets, the legendary ones. Each bag at the moment contains either 1 or 2 charms. Now, I mean, the good thing about these at the moment is they are daily character bound, so you can do them on every single character, so you can farm effectively anywhere between 15 and 30 charms per day per character. I mean, I have 7 characters total, meaning if I wanted to, I could spend, several hours in Tanaan jungle and get anywhere between 105 to 210 charms a day. If I wanted to put the time in, but that's the key here, really, time, because it does take a while. Now, unlike the Pet Masters of Draenor, there hasn't been a definitive answer to whether the charms are being either removed or nerfed in these bags. I mean, they might stay, so you may be thinking, oh, well, I can do this whenever then, I don't need to do it now. But yeah, I mean, that could be true, but I'm seriously expecting the drop rate to be nerfed, or the bags even to be removed. I mean, okay, the drop rate hasn't changed yet, but the keyword is yet. For all I know, in the next Legion build, to focus a bit more on the Legion pets, they might just, remove the reward. So, I mean, when you can do it now, why take the chance? But another reason, even if they do remain in Legion, the Howl Bomb, like I said, is being removed. So these Tanaan pet battles are going to be a bit more challenging for the average player, because the Howl Bomb, really makes the Tanaan pets, basically a walkover. So with the strat just disappearing come Legion, and the charms being so, abundantly available, I guess you could say at the moment, why take the chance of them being removed? Seriously, if you want the pets, you want the toys that come from the reward from the charms, just take some time to farm the charms now, because for all we know, it might become a lot more difficult to actually get the charms in Legion. I mean, the only way I can put it really is like good old Shia LaBeouf says, "Do it, just do it." So yeah, just do it now. Just don't wait. There's no point. Okay, I just want to, now I've mentioned those 2 things which are changing, maybe talk about the strategy of farming the charms at the moment, which is basically the Tanaan jungle pets. If you don't want to do the daily pets around Draenor, that's fine. I mean, they don't reward a lot, it's not really worth it. But you definitely want to farm the Tanaan jungle pets, even if it's just like maybe an hour or 2 every day on 1 or 2 characters. It's a good way to get charms, as well as it rewards extra things like the rare pets and the rare fell stones, which give you 5 levels per pet. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing. I'll talk about my slight variation of the Howl Bomb, which for simplicity I'm just going to call the Emerald Howl Bomb. And for this you need the Pandaren Water Spirit, which you can get as a reward from the Pandaren Spirit Tamer quest in Pandaria, or for some reason, if you didn't pick that up first, you can get it as a rare drop from the bags from fighting them in Pandaria. You can look that up if you want. I use the Chromanius pet, which is a drop from the boss Chromagus in Blackwing Lair. I think it's about 20% drop rate. And finally, the Emerald Proto-Whelp, which it can just be found in the wild north of Shalaza Basin. But yes, I mean, seriously, any pets with those abilities will be just fine. The only kind of essential one is the Water Spirit, because no other pets share its move pool. As far as breeds go, you kind of want, you preferably want a health breed on your Emerald Whelp, but it doesn't matter too much. As you can see, I have the damage one, and mine does absolutely fine. For moves, you want to be rolling with Water Jet, Whirlpool, and Geyser for the Water Spirit, Bite, Howl, and Surge for Chromanius, and Breath, Emerald Presence, and Emerald Dream on the Emerald Whelp. So, well, how does my strategy work? Well, no, how does the strategy work? It's not really mine, but how does the strategy work? It's pretty simple, and it's pretty generic for all 15 battles. Use the Howl Bomb first, so Geyser, Whirlpool, Switch, Howl, and then to finish it off, you either use Bite or Surge, just to kill off the pet. The back pets are probably the more challenging, I'd say, out of the Tanaan jungle pets. Simply because of the Fell Corruption buff, you need to just endure it until it wears off. It does 50% increased damage, reduced damage taken by 50%. It lasts for like 10 rounds or something. And this is actually where the Emerald Whelp comes in really handy, because he acts as your tank, as your wall, I guess you could say. You can use Presence and Dream, and just stay around, full health while also taking, quite reduced damage. Once the buff then wears off, you can just Breath to Victory, as no back pet in Tanaan actually resists Breath Dragon type moves, so it's quite good. Yeah, so that's how you dominate the Tanaan pets. Yeah, if you've got the time, it takes about 50 minutes for all 15 pets. But yeah, so it's easy charms. So some things worth noting about all the 15 Tanaan jungle pets: the 2 mechanical pets, which are the Dreadwalker and the Fellspawn Sentry. They'll res when killed, so don't use Surge on them to finish them off. Use Bite twice, otherwise you're going to be recovering, it's going to wreck you. The magical pets Fireblood and Dark Gazer are actually similar, because you need to use Bite twice on them to finish them off, because of their magic ability, which reduces the damage they take to 35% max health. So yeah, it's best just not to risk it. Also, with regards to the Dark Gazer, I'm just going to show it here. But it's actually got an interrupt ability, which really screws with the Hell Bomb strategy if you don't do it properly. Now, what you need to do is just use Water Jet 3 times in a row to begin the fight. So you use it once. When you use it second, you'll get interrupted. And when you use it the third time, it'll hit again. Then after that, you do want to do the Howl Bomb. So you use Geyser, then you use Whirlpool, switch to Chromanius, and when you switch, the second interrupt will come in. But it'll only do damage at 1 interrupt because you've just switched in. Then when you use the Howl, it'll take the full damage, finish it off with 2 bites. So yeah, I mean, it's just a bit, it still uses the Howl Bomb, but you just need to, kind of prepare, I guess you could say. This is actually probably the most challenging one, in my opinion, using this strategy, just because your Emerald Whelp takes a lot of damage from the back 2 pets, and if they get a crit, it's kind of proper risky. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. The last 2 pets worth mentioning is the first one's the Frog. It's got an ability called like Frog Kiss or something, which is the 3rd ability. It'll use it twice when you switch in your Chromanius. If it happens to transform your Chromanius into a frog, I think it's like a 25% chance per kiss. You use it twice, then just forfeit, because the Howl Bomb strategy is not going to work, because you're not going to get the Howl off. The next pet is Nether Fist. Now the Haymaker ability is proper harsh, because the pet itself is proper strong, but Haymaker, if it hits, not only does it almost one-shot your Banana Water Spirit, but then it gets 2 crunches off when you, sorry, 2 crushes off when you switch in your Chromanius, which will more than likely one-shot. So if it hits with Haymaker, it's a 50% chance. If it hits, might as well just reset it. If it misses, then you're golden. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. Another thing, you might get screwed over by a random crit or 2 here and there, but I mean, it can't be helped. It's not always going to be a flawless victory. Yeah, I mean, there's many times when I've gotten right to the end. It's just my Emerald Pro Drake, Pro Whelp even, versus, let's say, like a white snake or something. And I've just gone, like, one-shot by a random crit out of nowhere. I mean, it's full-on... I mean, it's full-on Randy Norton style, you know, like...
Look at Randy Orton slithering. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Seriously, sometimes it just come out of nowhere. It's annoying as shit, but there we go. And that's it really, I think. So that's all you need to know anyway. The Hull Bomb is getting removed. Pet Charms may all potentially getting removed, which are dead easy to obtain at the moment. Go to Tanaan Jungle, kill the Tanaan pets, get loads of charms, reap the rewards when Legion rolls around. So there we go. The last thing probably worth mentioning is maybe the add-ons, the pet add-ons you see me using in the video. So the first one is Tom Tom, this one here. I just use this to insert waypoints for the Tanaan pets, as sometimes pets, not the trainers, but the pets themselves actually don't show up on the map. So it's just easier to keep track of their locations with this. I use Pet Journal Enhanced to hide the pets I'm never going to get from my pet journal. I mean, there's a lot of pets which are like TGC or BlizzCon or events, and I'm just never going to get them, so I just disable them and hide them so they're not like, what's the word, taunting me, I guess you could say. But yeah, also generally just to sort my pets out in this menu as well, it's quite cool. The last one worth mentioning is an add-on called Pet Tracker. Now, this one, it allows you to not only see where the pets are out in the world. So if you say you're missing a pet, you can look on the world map and it'll show you where to get them. But it actually also shows you some extra details during the pet battles, such as, you know, if you need the pet and abilities and stuff. So yeah, that's quite a nice add-on. I'll give a shout out to Wowhead as well. You know, great for info, and that's where I got quite a lot of info for this video. But other than that, if you liked this video, then please share it around, and I'll see you in the next one, which will probably be about achievements to do before Legion. So yeah, peace.
Yes. Salama Ashalanore.